Hey, everybody, happy Monday to you, and thank you for joining us on this Monday. Of course, that is the wrong lower third. I apologize, folks. We are reporting to you on this WLBT Plus Digital News Desk update for Monday, April 20th. There we go. That's the proper one. We were doing coverage of the Shreveport mass shooting, and we have the latest on that as well. And of course, we'll get that information to you as it becomes available. I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter and your host for the Digital News Desk update each and every weekday, unless we have breaking coverage, of course. And we appreciate all of you watching on our Facebook live stream, our YouTube live stream, and our OTT platform. Thank you so much to everyone for making this part of your day. We first want to start with information that we have just received within the last 15-20 minutes, and certainly a scary situation for those involved. The Hinds County Chancery Court building evacuated after a bomb threat was called in around 9:30 this morning, but now the sheriff says that he's given the all clear, and folks are able to return back as they investigate. Sheriff Tyree Jones said the caller claimed there may be a hazardous device inside the building, so officials cleared the building and postponed all business, including the Board of Supervisors meeting. Bomb dogs were brought in to search. Nearby streets were blocked off. The building remained closed. Multiple agencies responding, including the SO, Sheriff's Department, I should say, Emergency Management, and Capitol Police. And again, that threat under investigation. Anyone arrested could face a terroristic threat charge. This comes 1 week after a similar situation happened, in which we're still trying to get more information on. And again, that was another. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes I'm just hitting the wrong buttons here. Just 1 week ago, that same thing happened at the Hinds County Courthouse, the main courthouse there on Pascagoula Street, and it was briefly shut down while the Sheriff's Department investigated. And again, we don't know exactly what is causing, we don't know who's responsible for this. They are still investigating. We don't have a lot of answers at this point. But of course, as those details become available, we'll let you know. Britt is first on the list saying hi on this Monday. Britt, hope you're doing well. Happy Monday to you as well. She is a regular watcher, and we appreciate her very much. We want to tell you about another story that we're following here in terms of crime here in the capital city. The latest on an investigation that authorities are continuing to look into. A 67-year-old man in Jackson who was shot last week while sleeping in his home has died. Now, police say that around 2:40 last Tuesday morning, Samuel Moore was sleeping at his home on Summit Drive when someone fired in his house. He was conscious as he was rushed to the hospital. He told police he did not know who could be responsible for it. Well, JPD says he died yesterday. Their investigation continues. And of course, as we learn more information about that case, we'll bring it to you here on air and online. We also want to let you know that that particular homicide makes 22 here in the capital city for 2026, according to our homicide tracker. You can go right now to WLBT.com and track these various events as they happen here in the capital city. As you can see, this is the most recent one that we just talked about here, Mr. Moore, and it is not solved at this point. Jackson police, we still are about 8%. 8% drop in homicides versus this time last year, but we've had 7 in the last 30 days. And one positive here, if there can be one, JPD has basically solved almost 70% of those cases. That higher than the national average. An unfortunate here is that if you look here at the top, and we're ranking these various major cities across the U.S. with Jackson. Jackson still remains the highest in terms of the homicide rate in the country, with a homicide rate of about 15.3 per 100,000 people, followed by Louisville, Kentucky. Baton Rouge is third in that list. And then rounding out the top 5 would be, of course, St. Louis, Missouri, and I believe Dayton, Ohio. So again, as we track those, that changes weekly as well. But we will continue to follow these stories and let you know new developments as they become available. But of course, something that we are continuing to follow, and it's a horrific situation, horrific tragedy out of Shreveport, where mass shooting took place yesterday. We are learning more about the young victims and the man police say is responsible for this tragedy that took the lives of 8 children. Ryan Chandler is in Shreveport now with more.
Neighbors across Shreveport, Louisiana, grappling with the aftermath of a massacre.
There is no sense in it.
Officials say the deadly act of domestic violence took the lives of 8 children between 1 and 12 years old.
The female saying there's 9 suspects that live inside the residence. Saying he may have shot them all.
Police tell us early Sunday morning, Shamar Elkins shot his wife and another woman they believe was his girlfriend. Both of them are still alive.
They have a female with a gunshot wound to the face, saying the cell and left the scene.
Authorities say he then executed the children in this home. 7 of them were his own.
It is a disgusting and evil scene that our officers experienced.
Elkins then fled the area in a stolen vehicle, leading police on a chase. Home security video capturing the frantic moments. Officers caught up to him and exchanged gunfire.
Shots fired.
Elkins was pronounced dead at the scene. Police tell us he had been on their radar before, convicted in 2019 for the illegal use of a weapon. They say it's likely he was illegally in possession of the handgun and the rifle-style pistol used in this attack due to being a convicted felon. Elkins served in the Louisiana State National Guard for 7 years. He was never deployed and left in 2020 as a private.
Obviously, something snapped with this guy, and he went on this rampage. We had no way to predict that it was going to happen.
Now, as both adult victims remain in the hospital with serious injuries, their loved ones are leaning on community to hold together a broken family.
It doesn't make sense at all to wake up and to hear this kind of news that someone would shoot 8 children, 8 innocent children. It's just unreal.
And again, that was Ryan Chandler reporting. And of course, we will continue to follow that story and bring you updates on our early evening newscasts as well as WLBT.com. A Natchez police officer has been arrested after a possible domestic assault. 34-year-old Brandon O'Neill was charged Friday with simple domestic assault. He's been with the police department about a year because he's an officer. The Adams County Sheriff's Department is handling the case. O'Neill has also been placed on administrative leave pending the results of this investigation. Got other folks that are saying hi to us on this Monday. Brooklyn Brown, or Brown Brooklyn, saying, hi, CJ, great reporter, enjoy your reporting. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you joining us today. Ms. Linda saying, good afternoon, I hope you're doing well. And Ella Red, saying, good afternoon, Miss Ella, I hope you're doing well, too. We have some other news we want to get to, specifically as it concerns the city of Jackson. City leaders in the capital city are looking for ways to make up a $23 million budget shortfall. Nearly halfway through the fiscal year, the city has spent nearly $54 million. The budget for the entire year is $112 million. The city's chief administrative officer says they're looking for ways to curb spending to keep from going over. Among other things, they're considering a hiring freeze and departmental spending cuts.
You won't see any difference in your services than you're currently seeing. And hopefully we will not be doing anything that's going to cause a furlough or a reduction in staff. If we do a reduction in staff, it's going to be done another way. Right now, I know the salaries are about 60% of our budget, but I don't think that is our true problem.
Now, that's Ward 2 Councilwoman Tina Clay. The city's finance committee meets Wednesday to continue working on the budget, which must be finalized by mid-September. Well, summer's almost here, and a Jackson City councilman wants to make sure your kids are home at night. Ward 3 Councilman Kenneth Stokes is proposing a curfew for teenagers. Kids under 18 would have to be off the streets by 10 p.m. on weeknights and by midnight on weekends. Some exceptions would be allowed. The curfew would remain in effect until 6 each morning. Councilman Stokes says he wants to hear from you before the council votes on the measure.
Absolutely. That's why we give it a little time where if the chief think we need to modify some things, we can. But it's basically the same orders we've had over the years. But we are open to any suggestions that the citizens might have, the school system might have, that the chief and other people might have.
Now, parents could be fined if their kids are caught violating the curfew. The councilman says he plans to reintroduce the measure at tomorrow night's city council meeting. And that is all the time we have for this edition of the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update on your Monday, April 20th. Hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Our early evening newscasts begin at 4 p.m. on air and online on WLBT. Also, our First Alert weather team will be in here at 2:30 to give you an idea of what this work week will look like and even a little preview of next weekend. So you'll want to make sure and tune in for that. For everyone here at WLBT, I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter and your host for the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update that we have each and every weekday, barring any kind of breaking news or trials, things of that nature. But we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.